Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. I see it coming in, I see the comments coming in, and I appreciate it. I'm in Doncaster. I never thought that I would spend multiple nights of my life in Doncaster, but this is where we are. And what better reason to do it than Dave Allen. So I've just come back from the press conference. I hosted the press conference, and it's Allen versus Hrgovic on Saturday night. And Dave Allen is in good shape. I had him at the workout yesterday. He took his top off. He saw himself on camera. He was flexing. He was pumping the guns. I mean, me flexing there doesn't quite give you the image of Dave Allen flexing, but he was pumping the guns up a little bit, and he was happy with the shape that he was in. In certain lighting, with a certain shadow, there might be a little outline of abs on Dave Allen. That is where we are now. He probably hasn't had abs in like 10 years, but look, he's put in the work. He's put in the work, and he's going to need to put in the work because look, no one's expected him to beat Filip Hrgovic. He said this himself. He said, you know, my mates are going to the fight, or everyone's going to the fight. They don't expect me to win. It's just me and my dad that expect me to win. And look, and he's probably right. He's a huge outsider in this fight. He's not boxed. He's not won at this level. His biggest win is Lucas Browne back in 2019. Lucas Browne being a former WBA regular world heavyweight champion, and that was the kind of crowning moment of Dave Allen's career, I think, so far. He had a later peak with the Johnny Allen, with the Dave Allen. Who's Johnny Allen? I feel like he was a villain in EastEnders, but he had the rematch with Johnny Fisher, and he stopped him. That was a big moment as well. The whole first fight was a big moment, but I feel like the crowning moment so far is actually like almost 7 years ago now. 7 years ago against Lucas Browne, and that's the only time he's won at anything near this level, and that's not even really near Filip Hrgovic level, by the way. Maybe he's gone near Filip Hrgovic level when he took on Louie Ortiz. At the time, Louie Ortiz was, I think Matchroom just signed him. He was being lined up to potentially fight Anthony Joshua. He was being seen as one of the best heavyweights out there, one of these guys that nobody wants to fight, doesn't speak English, seems to be knocking everyone out, might secretly be a lot older than what he is. You know, I think Dave Allen said that he smelt of dust that night. I mean, which was an amusing thing. But I think that's the last time Dave Allen's been close to this level in terms of competition. And Filip Hrgovic, he's probably better than Louie Ortiz ever was. That's what we're looking at here. Olympic bronze medalist, bona fide, top 5-6 heavyweight in the world today. He really is that guy, and he should win. Hrgovic should win. But we're learning. We're learning every week, and boxing makes a fool out of us, makes a fool out of the bookies. Everyone's going to use this as the example, but why wouldn't you? It's fresh in recent memory. Zach Chelli was the English light heavyweight champion. David Morrell was a two-time two-weight world champion. Zach Chelli stopped David Morrell. David Morrell went the distance with David Benavidez. That's the only fight he'd lost. Anything can happen in this sport. So nobody can tell me, in front of 10,000 people in his hometown in Doncaster, in a city that he has never lost a fight at school, on the roads, or in the ring, that Dave Allen doesn't have a chance against Filip Hrgovic. Just look at Chelli versus Morrell, and it's heavyweight boxing, so anything can happen. I asked him, I had him on the stream after the press conference today. I said, what happens, Dave, if you land that shot that you landed on Lucas Browne back in 2019, back at the O2, which sent him down and kept him down? And he said that was the greatest body shot in history, and the same thing will happen. Listen, he's going to need a lot of luck. He's going to need to believe in himself, and I actually think I don't think he can beat Hrgovic with a body shot or a head shot. For me, the only route to victory is cutting Filip Hrgovic somewhere up here. He cuts pretty easily, getting all in there and in the clinches, being horrible in there. The cut's getting worse. Ref's having a look. Ref's taking him to the doctor. Doctor's like, oh, don't know about this. Fans are going crazy, going, stop him, pull him out, pull him out. This is the route to victory. For Filip Hrgovic, his route to victory is probably just punching Dave Allen in the head for 10 rounds, maybe a little bit in the body, and outpointing him quite soundly, using all of his amateur pedigree, using his activity, because he's a very active heavyweight, throws a lot of shots, and just being better than Dave Allen. That's his route to victory. He doesn't really need like the luck. He's expected to win. He's expected to come in and do a job. With Dave Allen, I feel like half the battle is mental, and this isn't like a new idea to come up with. It's something that he's admitted himself. He has seemed to me over the years, and I've only worked with him a little bit on this fight and a little bit on the first Alan Fisher fight. He seems to be comfortable with coming second, but not giving it his all, so that he's got this kind of inbuilt excuse that protects his ego, and that he's got this kind of this 20% where people might say, oh yeah, but if only David trained. Imagine if Dave had given it his all, then we would have seen the real Dave Allen. It's almost like he's afraid of showing us 100% Dave Allen, because if that Dave Allen loses, he'd have to accept that in that particular fight, he wasn't good enough. And that's a difficult thing to accept. He seems to me, this is just my kind of read, I might be talking absolute nonsense. He seems more comfortable sitting in this place where there is that question mark of what if. There are going to be people saying that, yeah, but he never reached his potential. He never, if he'd have just tried harder, if he'd just done his best, come in shape, hadn't gone out on the day, gone out the night before. This kind of self-sabotage to protect. It's a thing in psychology that people do to protect themselves from like a harsh truth or a harsh reality. Having to actually look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not good enough, is a very difficult thing to do. Having an inbuilt excuse saying, I shouldn't have eaten all those burgers in camp, I shouldn't have gone out the night before. You might lose the fight, but you've got that to explain it away. It looks like this is 100% Dave Allen. It looks like he is putting everything into it, and it looks like Doncaster has made the difference. The idea is instilled in his head that he can't be shown up in front of his people, and that he has to put in the shift, he has to put in the work, he has to perform well in front of his people in Doncaster. He can't just walk into the centre of that football pitch and just get filled in, pardon the pun, but he can't just do that. And I think he knows that. I think there's an element of pride there, and it's a different pressure. I know he's talking about how he's not feeling pressure because no one expects him to win, etc. But I do think there is a pressure there of performing at home in front of your people and basically not wanting to make a mug of yourself, and making sure that everyone has a good night. And when they think back on what Dave Allen did that night, they're proud of him as I think it's a DN12 bad boy. I think that's what they call themselves around here in Doncaster. But yeah, I'm always fascinated by the sort of psychology of Dave Allen. Look, I might be right, I might be wrong, but I just feel like over the years he's been comfortable leaving that element of doubt, leaving that element of what if. And I'm hoping, and I feel like he is in this fight, he is giving it 100%. And if he doesn't win, it's just because he's not good enough against Filip Hrgovic. Yes, I hosted the press conference just now. That was my final press conference as a fully paid up member of staff for Queensberry. So yeah, you've seen the news. Thank you for all the comments that have been coming through, and really appreciate all the support out there. I'll probably do a separate video on that, but yeah, it's obviously a significant moment in my life and my career to step away from Queensberry. So yeah, I thought it was nice that George said something at the start, just like, yeah, thanks for your service sort of thing. And Frank Smith said something nice as well. Good, nice words. Undercards should be pretty nuts. I know they've lost some fights, which is quite annoying, but the the British Lightweight Championship. Louie O'Doherty against Ahmed Hatim. That should be a belter. We saw them at the workout yesterday. They're going nose to nose. And obviously, whilst they're nose to nose, I'm sticking a mic under them. And I've never seen anyone mock somebody else for their muscles. It's not normally a point of contention. You're normally quite, oh, look at those great muscles. You're normally, I mean, me personally, I'm quite envious of people that have lovely big muscles. I'd quite like though to have them myself. But Ahmed Hatim is using it as a stick to beat Louie O'Doherty with. Now, Louie O'Doherty comes from a gymnastics background. He's very muscularly built. Ahmed Hatim has been taking the mick out of him left, right and centre, superimposing his face over a body of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's been calling him Arnold Louie O'Doherty. All sorts of fun. They are both unbeaten. They both really want to win. You've got Ahmed Hatim, who's the one doing all the chatting, doing all the talk, but he's smart. He knows that that's what you've got to do to get noticed. I've watched plenty of long-form interviews with him. He's a smart guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's just playing the game. And he's playing the game very well, because if he gets the win against Louie O'Doherty, there's going to be a lot of heat on his name. He's brought more attention to his fight. Louie O'Doherty is cool, calm, collected, and this guy actually has brought something out of Louie O'Doherty. I've enjoyed seeing that. He's going back at him a little bit. I've only worked with Louie O'Doherty once before, his fight with Regan Glackin, where he was very quiet in the build-up and just very brilliant on fight night, became the champion, got the job done. But that's the standout for me. The other standout, the other thing to look out for on this show is, I'm going to get, what's his name? Right. So there's an Olympic gold medalist on there. Obviously, that's absolutely brilliant. Great to have an Olympic gold medalist on from Uzbekistan. So his name is going to be, it's going to be fun to hear Adam Smith and the team pronounce this guy's name, because I can't. This is how Thomas Triber's pronouncing it.
The best possible person to answer the question. Thomas, over to you. Overrated. Asad Huja. Moydin Hujayev. Asad Huja. Moydin Hujayev.
So his name's Asadhuja Mudin Kujayev. 60 points on Scrabble, this fella. Meant to be a hell of a fighter, though. Olympic gold medalist. They don't give those medals away. Done plenty in the amateurs, world amateur champion, all of that good stuff. And I think he's actually live on the DAZN broadcast. So, obviously, watch him, because he's going to be brilliant. New Queensbury signing. He's probably going to become a world champion. He's got all the credentials. But also watch him to see how these fellas struggle to pronounce his name. If they do, Thomas Triber's got it nailed. I just want to hear his name from Adam Smith. I can't wait to hear it. So, that's another reason to be tuning in on Saturday night. It's the weigh-in tomorrow, and we will crack on. We will crack on. Is there anything else going on in boxing? Wardley versus Dubois. That's happened now, and I think I've said my piece on that fight. That's the thing. There's now a rumour out there. DAZN put this out as well, saying there is a rumour of Filip Hrgovic against Moses Itauma, should Filip Hrgovic come through. Now, Hrgovic addressed this at the press conference as well. He said, listen, Moses' date is quite soon, that August 8th. Let's see what shape I'm in, etc., etc. Once again, if we do get Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic, then it's the perfect fight. Just like Jermaine Franklin was the perfect fight for Moses Itauma, so would Filip Hrgovic be. It seems, on paper, to be the perfect fight. This isn't just a guy who's durable now. This is a guy who's durable with pedigree, and he's a winner. He's a winner. He's not known for his competitive losses. He's known for being a winner. Olympic bronze medalist. He beat Zhilei Zhang, David Adelaide, Joe Joyce. His only loss has come to the world heavyweight champion Daniel Dynamite Dubois. If Moses Itauma fights him and inflicts the only other loss on him, big statement. That is it. And hey, it feels like quite a significant jump up actually for Moses. He's gone from facing a top 20 guy in Jermaine Franklin to facing a bona fide top 5, top 6 guy. But you got to do it. Moses is there or thereabouts. We can't be treading water. This guy's going to be world heavyweight champion soon, and all of these guys, your Filip Hrgovic, of the world, they're going to be in his way. So he's got to move them out of the way if he can. If he can. But, of course, first, Filip Hrgovic got to come through Dave Allen. Dave Allen said that he wants Tyson Fury after this fight. Here's one for you. I think that fight's on the table, win or lose, for Dave Allen. If he beats Filip Hrgovic, fantastic, and you go into the Tyson Fury fight with genuine credit coming off the best win of your career. But if you lose, and you lose well, then Tyson Fury will probably still look at him as a warm-up fight. It depends on how he loses. If he has moments in the fight, shows spirit, shows heart, then I think he'd still be looked at. That's the blessing of being a character, an entertainer. Look at Derek Chisora. Dave Allen's almost like a kind of version of him. But fantastic. Can't wait. And yeah, join us for the weigh-in tomorrow. And yeah, we move. Thank you for subscribing. Do keep sharing it and all of that. And let me know what you think. Have I read Dave Allen's psychology here completely wrong? Or am I seeing it right? I don't know. I feel I'm onto something. I feel there is a psychology thing there of not trying your best so that you protect yourself from failing. Because if you try your best and fail, it's a hard one to take. If you don't try your best and fail, you can always have that little thing of, well, I didn't try my best, so, if only I'd tried my best, and then you'd see the real me. I think there's something in that, but may just be talking absolute nonsense. See you next time.